This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Hi, everybody. Wow. It's now like Sefira time once again. And whether you're counting or not counting, it really counts to pay attention to the Sefira season. So today we're going to focus our attention on that because counting the Omer is basically fixing ourselves and reaching higher and higher and higher states. So funny, by accident. And all you out there, please be careful. Those of you who have iPhones, like sometimes you can text something to somebody and by accident text it to somebody else. So I texted someone because I was waiting in the elevator and for my ride, and I texted that person, "Oh, I'm in the elevator, where are you?" And then all of a sudden I'm like, "They're not coming there," whatever. So bottom line, all of a sudden I realized I texted to the wrong person, and then I was like thinking, elevator, going up, going up, going up. Please, God, make me go up. And I hope, like, everyone, after hearing this class, will be on an elevator on the next level up. So we learned previously that during Pesach, we got this amazing gift from Hashem to be able to have love of Hashem like the Jewish people had when they were in Mitzrayim. Come Shavuot, the Alter Rebbe says in the Torah that the work we do with that love that we got during Pesach will have its ultimate and everlasting effect if we work with that gift. Meaning if we take the time right now during these 49 days to invest a little extra time on fixing our midot and looking at the different variations of the 7 midot. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yisod. And then come Shavuot, we will get an everlasting gift. Not just a gift that comes and goes. Because what we got for Pesach can come and go. But Shavuot will be granted and we will be getting that extra everlasting change in our soul if we did the 49 days of work. And the Rusa de la Eila will be so everlasting that when the Chag is over, we don't need the Samim because no spiritual energy is leading us. Because normally on Shabbat, we have an extra soul and then the extra soul leaves. And so then you need to spice yourself up with some fragrance to help you tolerate it and not, pass out because of it. So Shavuot, we won't have to use the Samim because whatever Hashem will give us on Shavuot, it's going to stay with us forever. And depending how we did the work throughout the 49 days will be how everlasting more it will be and a stronger change within us. So I'm going to go through these combinations, and I want to give credit where credit is due. This is from Edith Schneider, and she lives in Yerushalayim, and somehow it got passed along to my hand. Thank God, because it really made sense to me. All these years of saying Sefira Omer, and I kind of got it, but not barely, like she explains it. And even though every year I read it over and over again, every year somehow, Baruch Hashem, it makes more sense to me, and I see things that I didn't see before. So I hope you will also find the same is true for you. So let's start. Chesed shebechesed. You know chesed is kindness, and you know chesed is love in Hasidic teachings. So chesed shebechesed is like the highest level of love, the highest level of generosity. And it's the root of all of the 49 emotional states and character traits. Love of God and love of others is the wellspring of my personality. It is an inexhaustible source of good and generosity, ever mindful of Hashem's kindness toward me. I create the space to let it flow through me as I give whenever possible, remembering that it is whatever I'm giving is of His, not mine. Because what I'm giving is His. So chesed shebechesed, I'm being chesedic, but I have to realize it's Hashem's chesed. He's the one that's giving me so that I can give. It's not really me giving. So you can feel more able to tackle that yetzer hara. You might say, don't give. Wait a minute, it's not me giving. It's Hashem giving. Now, Gvura shebechesed is understanding first of Gvura is strength, magnanimous, Yirat Hashem. There's many different aspects. Gvura is also self-discipline. But Gvura shebechesed is a different than what you might think. Not, oh boy, I should be gvordik and not be so chesedic. No, I should be gvordik, magnanimous. I should go all the way out. So that when I'm giving someone, a poor person, I'm going to smile. I'm going to say kind words. I'm going to have a body language of care and concern. I'm not just going to walk by and give. And I'm going to do it with gvura, meaning with strength, with quality, with quantity. And in this way, you're able to do it in the most beautiful way. It says here, I make a conservative evaluation of my own needs. I could also use Gevura on myself. Do I really need this? Or can I buy a little less and save more for tzedakah? So you're going to use the Gevura, but on yourself, both materially and emotionally. This helps me to stay focused on what I can give, not what I deserve, not what I want, not about me. Sefira shebechesed, the most graceful kind of giving is when the recipient doesn't even realize that he's receiving a gift. When the giving appears as a mutually beneficial gesture and not as one giving to another. I will try to devise ways to disguise my giving in this way, because Tiferes is beautiful. How beautiful it is for the other person that they don't feel like a beggar and shamed by your giving. I'm going to use Tiferes in my chesed. Tiferes also is compassion. I have compassion on them. I don't want them to feel like a beggar. Oh, I'm the giver. To make them feel like a loser. Netzach shebechesed. Remember, Netzach is victory. Netzach also means forever. Like when you want to bless someone, Ad Netzach Netzachim. Like you should live till now. They used to say Ad Mea Be'esrim when someone's birthday, but now they say Ad Netzach Netzachim because hopefully we're all going to be like up and running about when Mashiach comes, and we won't have to ever go under. And so the idea is Netzach is forever. So Netzach Shebechesed is realizing that your act of kindness is a forever benefit to your soul, to your children, to your children's children, to generations and generations after. Because it's eternal. One act of kindness is eternal and forever. So when you're doing a chesed, you think, I don't know, should I do it? Should I not? I don't know. Wait a minute, this is eternal opportunity. So I change the lives of my children, my children's children, all the Jewish people. And I'll just briefly remind you, when Miriam went after her brother, Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was in the water, her act of chesed, she could have said, Mommy just told me to go put him in the water. Goodbye, I want to go play hopscotch. Like she was really there. And then she could have said, oh, someone took him. Fine, I did my job. No, she went, sure, is he getting fed? He's not eating. She ran to go get the mother. She did everything. And the teaching is that forever the Jewish people were blessed. The water came in her merit, and her houses were built in the merit that all the holy people that came from her dynasty, that were able to be Kohanim and the Beit HaMikdash serving, all because of that one act. So, Netzach Shebechesed, see the eternity of the moment. Try programming your mind to go beyond the moment. So, Hod Shebechesed, Hod is humbleness, as it were, like coming from Modeh, which is like acknowledging. Like when you say thank you to someone, it's like you're almost bending your head and like, wow, I'm like acknowledging that I really owe you a thank you because you did so much for me. So it's like almost humbling. So here it says, Hod Shebechesed. What is Hod? In the Chesed? Well, when you are like giving someone in this way, it's like you become humbled. And you then become radiant. Like if you give them an act of kindness, you help them, they just had a baby, you're nice to someone who raised their voice at you. Like you keep your mouth shut and you're kind to them, even though you don't feel like it because the way they acted toward you. Let's say a husband, for instance. So when you give, then it becomes, in this way, it becomes a tangible radiance around the person giving when they're serving others. So, because Hod is also radiance, splendor. So you become beautiful. Your neshama becomes elevated. The Shekhinah is resting on you. And you have an awareness that while giving, this is what's going to happen to you. Malchus Shebechesed. Malchus, as you know, is an empty vessel, like a cup. In Hasidus teachings, Malchus receives everything from all the above Sefirot. It has nothing of its own. Okay, so anyway, so Malchus Shebechesed is like an empty cup, and it's receiving. So it's like it's empty, it's lowly, it has nothing of its own. So Malchus Shebechesed means that when you give, it should come from a place of remembering how lowly you really are. Because whatever is it's God's, it's not mine. And whatever I do have is really an undeserved gift from Hashem. And really I should not feel like I should get any credit for my giving. I should flee from recognition. I want to give with such purity and some wholesomeness. Not because I want honor, not because I want attention, not because everyone's going to like me, whatever. It's like it's coming from a place of just like an emptiness. I want it to be nothing but the sacred act. Empty of ego. Empty of self. 8 is chesed shebegvura. Now, chesed shebegvura, now we're going into the new phase here. Gvura, strength, discipline, might, fear, of Hashem. Now, in this sense, we're going to focus on when you have to discipline your children, or you have to use your mouth to have criticism in your life, maybe regarding if you have workers, you have to criticize them so that will get better, so your business will thrive, or, anything really in the dynamics of relationships. And also, even within your own relationship to yourself. So, Gvura is, because, we use Gvura to criticize ourselves so that we can fix ourselves. So when you're about to rebuke, criticize, and when you have like an indignation within you about somebody or how they behaved, it must always come from a place of chesed. Meaning, you're doing it because you want to help them. You're doing it because you love them. So it has to come, your rebuke has to come from chesed. If you're going to use gvura, it should be chesed she's gvura. It's not because you're mad and you want to show them how you make them upset. Blah, 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 blah. It's not because they deserve to be put in their place. How dare they not honor me, or you treat me like garbage. That's me. That's not the chesed she's gvura. It has to begin from a place of love for the other. Unless I can feel that sincerely in my heart and authentically, as well as at the moment being able to communicate it concretely and in this way with love, I have no right to give rebuke. Meaning if you're flaring up in anger after someone did something to you, then it's not the time because you don't feel love for them. And you shut your mouth. Excuse my French. It's not the time. You have to pause, think about it, think how you love them, how's the best way to do it. It might take even a day. So, chesed shebegvura is wait till you find chesed in you, in your heart. And only then can you give the gvura. If it's not there, you have no right. Because then it's not coming from a place of wanting to help them. Then it's not sincere. It's not real. It's all about ego, and it's all about you. 9. Gevura she-gevura. Now, whoa, what is this all about? We just learned that, you should really have chesed when disciplining someone, when giving them rebuke. Remember, we said that on yourself, you also have to be careful. You don't want to, get so super depressed because you're constantly banging yourself on the head because you're not this and you didn't do that right and then a person gets depressed. So you have to be chesed shebegvura on yourself. But in one area, you're allowed to be gvura shebegvura, and this is this area. And this is in regard to battling with Amalek. The Amalek, which is the gematria for doubt, okay? Here we are in battle with Amalek. And in this instance, we're allowed to use gvura shebegvura. There's no room for chesed. We have to totally annihilate it, even its memory. Everything else has its spark, which must be extracted and elevated. But Amalek, doubt, does not. It must be eliminated completely, and I'll explain. When do you have doubt is when your emunah is not strong. So really, emunah is the highest power of your soul. And the highest blemish in your soul that could happen is when you have doubt. Worries, panic, what's going to happen? I don't have faith. Who knows what's going to be? Da, da, da. You have to, with Gevura, eliminate Amalek in you. And in reality, nothing is really destroyed because doubt has no actual existence. It's an illusion of the mind. It's an illusion that you're separated from Hashem. But as if He's not caring for you and masterminding everything that's happening in your life. So it says here, I will search out and destroy the places where I doubt the oneness of Hashem. I'll search out and destroy the place where I doubt His Torah, or the truth of His Torah. I will search where there is doubt in His power to save me, to heal me, to protect me, to feed me. As I always say, if God can feed the birds, He will feed me. So many fights in families because of money and worries and panicking and blah, 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 blah. It's not easy. Maybe let's say the sentence together. If Hashem can feed the birds, He can feed me too. Having emunah that He will sustain me. And that He is a giver and a good God, and that everything is coming from Hashem. So the only place you can use Gevura, Gevura, is killing doubt, destroying it, and using all force. But anywhere else, in your disciplining yourself, in disciplining your child, or having discussions with your husband, it should never, ever be Gevura Shebegvura. No rage, no anger, no shaming. It says shaming is like the worst pain and suffering of this world. That's what the Torah teaches us. You know how many people shame their children right and left? In front of their own husband and wife also? Or in front of the relatives? You know how many teachers shame the children? If you would send a sign to every school, shame is the worst pain, more than death. And when you use Gevura on top of Gevura to try to discipline a child, oy vavoy. Of course you wouldn't kill. This is the worst pain. And you have no right to. All you could do is first examine where this anger is coming from and humble yourself. And realize that I need to find love in my heart, and it's missing right now. I'm the problem, really. I have to fix myself. Switch to chesed, and then you'll have chesed shebegvura. And only gvura shebegvura, eradicating doubts and fears and panics of what's going to be and all that. That's the only place. Ayenu. Please, God, help us all. So now we're going to Tiferes Shebegvura. Tiferes is mercy. Now you're going to give discipline to someone. You want it to really be received because you really, really want to help them. But again, you have to add a little spice here and there. You just add the spice of chesed. But now we have to add the spice of Tiferes. Compassion. Criticism and judgment must be tempered by mercy. Even if you're going to have to compromise certain matters in order that the central point be received. And this is the secret of harmony between chesed and gevura. One must set the priorities and adjust them and make the style accordingly so that it will be effective. So, because Sefira is a blending. I'll never forget it. It was, I saw this child, really being shamed in public. And, I just, wanted to cry, seeing it. Have compassion on the child. Someone was in the market. Yeah, by his mom. Just everyone looking at the child. The child was as if he died. Really. It was this is mercy on the child. You have to add mercy into it. And don't slice them up to pieces here. Set a priority. This is the number one thing I want to tackle. Maybe next month I'll tackle that part of it. Oh my gosh, she's such a mess. But let's just tackle this. This is the most critical right now. Not so much. Have mercy. They can't handle it. Netzach Shebigvura is another spice you really need for effective child rearing. But in general, also even with other things. Netzach means victory. It means going forward and not looking back. Have nitzachon. How does an army soldier have nitzachon? He has no fear. He's going to do what he has to do, and he's going. And that's it. No turning back. So, how does Netzach with Gevura? Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so overbearing on the child or on the person. No, that's not what it means. It means don't be wishy-washy. He made a decision. If he has tantrums, he has to have a consequence. Now, what typically happens, and I've mentioned this before, in the shopping line, a woman will see her child, whatever, and going crazy and whatever, and she's so embarrassed. She wants to shut him up. Okay, fine, you can have a chocolate bar. That's wishy-washy. One minute you don't let him get away with tantrums, but in public you do. So you're not going to be effective. It's not. He's going to get the message that I can play games with this little woman here, call my mom. I have decided that an act of gevura is necessary for the sake of some good for that person. And my motivations are truly from love. And all other previous conditions are met. I have mercy, I have this, then I must act decisively. For wishy-washy ambivalence will be sensed by the other and render the act impotent in the end. And sometimes it's very easy, with a child, you can say, no, you cannot do that. It's intolerable. And oh, well, yeah. And then they see that you're you're backing out. And say that, oh, I know now, I got mommy now. And they'll do it. They'll play it over on you. Because they really are smart. It has to be determined, but coming from a place of love, not with a warrior attitude, of course. But that you're determined not to let them make you break. Next, Hod Shebigvura. And this is, again, Hod is like humbleness. And so, Gevura in this instance, let's focus on Yirat Hashem. So when you're about to give a criticism, when you're about to have to discipline, humble yourself and have fear of Hashem, like He's standing before you. Here, from fear of God, I take upon myself the yoke of the Torah and mitzvot. This means that in each point of choice, my entire being agrees to place Hashem's will before my own. The Torah says, anger is avodah zarah. I have to realize that. I have to realize, oh my gosh, I'm getting angry. I really have to work on myself. I have to have yirat Hashem. I have to have fear, and humble myself before Hashem. And this will help you. Have this humbleness, and you will develop more fear of Hashem. And really the main way, we were talking about it weeks and weeks ago, is the more meditation on the greatness of Hashem, the more focus on how great He is and how lowly you are, really. I mean, who are you to outsmart or outthink you know what's best and to be angry about something? And basically, when you're angry, you're saying it shouldn't be this way. God designed, it's like I'm laughing because I can't understand the whole idea of carrying a baby in a stomach for 9 months and all the pain and the heaviness and then the nursing every 2 hours, and He designed it that they're cranky and that they have all yetara to bar mitzvah and and He created all this, and I get angry that I have to deal with it. And I feel like, and I feel miserable, and a person can feel depressed from his life because, trust me, I understand. Baruch Hashem, I have children, and I had children, and I'm raising children. I know it. It's not easy. But what was easier for me, the more I humbled myself to say, this is the way God designed raising children. And I really did a lot of things right. And it still wasn't easy, meaning homeschool till, and nursing till, and barely babysitters, and. It is the way it is. Because what does the Yetzer Hara tell a person? Oh, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe this, maybe that. It's me. It's my fault. I'm telling you, even when things are good in the home, and there's no fighting in the home, and no raising voices in the home, kids are kids. I've been working with kids since I was a kid. I was a camp counselor at age 10. 12. Volunteering at 10, and I was a camp counselor already at age 12. I've been with kids over how many years? 40, almost 6 years, practically. So, just humble yourself. It's God's design. I can't figure it out. It's let go. Don't feel like a miserable loser and a miserable pity yourself that you have to go through with it. You know how many people don't have children? This is what you have to say to the Yetzer Hara. Get off my back. And you'll start not to be as angry. And also dealing with husbands. Read my marriage book coming up soon. The Rebbe Sichas of men are different than women. They're opposite extremes, 100% from the side of men are from Venus, women are from Mars. It's true. It's true. And hopefully it's going to come. I'm bringing it, hopefully it's going to come at 2 o'clock to at least give it to you. But only the printed one. It's not the final on the hardback. Anyway, so it is the way it is. Humble yourself. He knows, and He has designed it. So now we got to Yesod Shebegvura. Now, Yesod is a foundation, bonding. You want to be able to give criticism and help someone, and you want to get them to the right place. So when you're going to do that, you have to have Yesod in mind. These are all spices, and all together, it's going to be a beautiful blend of being able to give that instruction to someone in a healthy, holy way that will get the point across and be effective. So, Yesod is what's the foundation of what you're about to do? Make sure there's no exaggeration. Don't be selective and have omissions and do things kind of in a weird way to prove your point. Don't have emotional punches below the belt. Really. Do it with perfect truth. So that it's really like coming from a place of not to prove your point that they're losers. Have the foundation, the bond of your relation to them in order and in place. And then, only then will their influence have an impact on the life and the deeds of the ones who they're directing it to. And it will influence them in a good way. Like Rabbi Ginsburg in his Mystery of Marriage book says, like, if you want to be effective in helping someone change their ways, like, really be extra giving. Do more acts of kindness to them. Do more favors for them. Win their love. Win their, like, they start to like you more and feel good to be with you. Then, down the road, like, it'll be more effective when you really have to say something about what you're doing that's not right. And it means swallowing your pride. It means swallowing those words for a while. You know, people come to me, fix my child. Fix your love toward them first. Be nice to them. Be extra loving to them. Hug them. Make them feel like $1 million. Make them feel like you're so crazy about them. And honestly, not that I'm exaggerating when I do this with my clients, because I really do love the children that come to me, that I see them, because I really love each child. Is like unbelievable. But don't tell them. I do that. I make them feel like I'm crazy about them. I make them feel like they're such $1 million. And I make it. Then later, I then start to deal with whatever I have to deal with them. And the parents sometimes complain to me. Say, I didn't pay you for this. I'm not supposed to do my 26 years experience to say how things work. Try, but they don't think so, and they don't even sometimes give me another chance. Let it happen. Playing, that's why play. And one time I went to some place and I played on the swings with the child because it was in the child's home. And I was bonding with them. You have to bond with them first. The foundation. Later. Yeah, it looks like, someone's giving me a check for whatever amount of money to play with a child. Yeah, it looks like that. No matter how I try to explain it. No, they want to go to him. Yeah, fix it now. If I could fix it now, gosh, I'd be like God. I can't be God. In order, either mother or either husband, even in the perfect situation, everything perfect and fine and fancy and schmancy, every delightful kind of behavior. Children are children. So, Yesod Shebegvura is bond. Ani Malchut Shebe. Oh, where are we? Where are we? 1 second. Yeah, Yesod, that's right. Yesod Shebegvura. Now Malchut Shebegvura, because I got confused. We did Malchut of Chesed, and then I thought we did it already. Okay, so Malchut Shebegvura, again, the lowliness, feeling humbled and nothing. Remember, Malchut is an empty vessel. So when I'm about to approach someone and I have to criticize, first I'm going to do my own tshuva. First I'm going to get it to a state of lowliness. And then, only then can I then even approach them. Because if not, it could deteriorate into abuse. If I'm feeling all high and mighty and I don't deserve this kind of behavior and I'm going to say my thing and whatever, then it could be very abusive to the person receiving it. So don't say anything. Wait. Take a day. Take even a week. Give a look. And walk out of the room if you have to. Until you get to that state of humbleness and lowliness before you're about to go rebuke somebody. How many times even wives open their mouth and rebuke to their husband? And trust me, they have a whole lot of stuff they need to open their mouths on themselves. Let them first be humbled. in their own way. And trust me, then half of the stuff they won't even open their mouth for. Trust me, because it's mine. I'm married. And I know there's been a lot of work I had to do on myself, not to look into everybody else's tents. So now number 15, Chesed Shebetziferes. You know what? We should stop here because we're getting into something new. So let's have time to do a meditation and then do some dancing. I'll just review, since some people came later. By doing this work during these 49 days, Kam Shavuos, Alter Rebbe's teachings, is that then we're going to have an everlasting change in our neshama. It's not come and go like Shabbat. We have an extra soul, it leaves us. Shavuot comes and we actually worked on these rectifications. Bonus, lifetime residuals. There's a lot of good in our soul and a lot of strength to be the best that we can be. So I'm going to put some a cappella music. Yeah, but I didn't bring, because we'll have to use it on here. But it's fine. I'm going to use this a cappella. I think I have two places. So I love this. Everything is here. Oh, and by the way, I brought my daughter's new CD that was in memory of my mother-in-law. So I want to take it out. I know now we can't listen to it, but I'll. Yes. Hello, everyone out there. I'm sure you enjoyed this class immensely like I did. It was beautiful and very informative. And I'd like to ask everyone who's listening to please send your donations to Miriam Yerushalmi. And Miriam Yerushalmi, believe me, the money you send Miriam means that you'll be sending children to yeshiva who can't afford it and will be in public school otherwise. It means buying food for families who have in Israel and here that have nothing to eat. Literally, they're going hungry. And it means buying, providing shelter, medical needs, any assistance to anyone. Anyone really who's donating will be helping in all these ways. Miriam's last name is Yerushalmi. And you can make out the check to SANE, S-A-N-E, which is tax deductible. And the address is 640 Eastern Parkway, Unit 4C, Brooklyn, New York, 11213. And for further information, call 646-243-0842. Hey, everyone, back to Miriam and meditation. Okay, I'm sorry, you probably won't hear the music, only the ones in the class, but I'm going to put it on because it's on my iPhone. Beautiful. Before we even start, everyone dealing with relationships, making yourself aware, empty, eliminate, and we have to love, dealing with, living, all of it said beyond. Anything else for that private? I would think of not with love, God is goodness. You know, close your eyes, and every breath you take, you taking into a breath, let your thinking into loneliness, goodness, or Hashem is the time. With the faith that comes to healing. Three different people in your life that you're one by one, vision, now it's teaching them not just like individuals, finger and your head is done something to you. It's humble. The root of every aspect of the human channel. This is one holy summer. The eyes, whatever they think is the next way, that's really holy. See the godly spark in them. Reach out, put your hands, and God's covered with a peace creator. Make me feel your peace. Feel your love. Make them feel safe. There's so much wisdom and that avoid it. You're acting toward it. And that's the word of sin. To guide us. Need the person transform with your very time. It's a beautiful Krishna. You and you. This is the last of the form with other combination. Like this, with the music, with the form, with the skill. I beg you to your faith. Help me. You have to be strong and you guarantee. I do it with your life for sake. Doing his job as a mother, as a wife, with his life. And you is what you do. He is so good. He can do it over hundreds and hundreds of years. It's chosen to come down into this world. Doing this stuff. When you're ready, you should close them, you open your eyes, and you have such a different view. Now, you are we should just keep this in our hearts every day, no matter what. Anyways, I bless you for an amazing, amazing week, and keep everyday Sefira counting in mind, and really focus your attention. Because we have like extra quality of extra strength to really accomplish our goals here. So happy to have you. Oh no, I didn't even know. I just thought you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Oh wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. My friend's mom acupuncture is very. Oh my gosh. They said the same thing. She kept getting the drill like every year.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.